It's your boy Jose from Big Meat Sports. How are you guys doing on this lovely week? It's Christmas week coming down to the wire. So for some of y'all, I know you guys are struggling. You guys trying to find gifts, hitting up those malls at the last second. Hey, look, I already got my Christmas shopping all done and over with. So that anxiety of last minute Christmas shopping doesn't evolve around me. But I know some of you guys are kind of like trying to find out that last second gift and waiting those long ass lines in the mall. But again, thank you guys for tuning in to Big Meat Sports. Check if you haven't checked us out, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitch. We're all over the place. So hey, don't forget to check out our all the major platforms and shoot us a like, a comment. Tell us your friends about us, so on and so forth. But let's get into this podcast. And before we, go into the football podcast, I will talk about another football, which us Americans call soccer. I do want to give a congratulations to Argentina and their fans that have been waiting a long time for this coming. Argentina won the World Cup. Congratulations to Messi. Congratulations to all my friends, all my Argentines that are out there. I saw you guys on Facebook, saw you guys on Instagram, saw you guys everywhere supporting your team. Some of you guys got very emotional, and look, I want to feel that emotion, and hopefully I'll feel that emotion one of these days when the Dallas Cowboys finally win the Super Bowl. Don't know when that's going to be, but hopefully it'll be soon. But congratulations to the Argentina. It's Messi's first World Cup. I believe it's Argentina's third World Cup in total. So I think you got lots of catching up to Brazil, I believe, that leads in the World Cup championships. But again, shout outs to Argentina, all my boludos out there. Um, but let's talk about this Dallas Cowboys game. We're not we'll chime into Dolphins game a little bit later, but let's talk about this Dallas Cowboys game because I'm concerned now. Very concerned because the defense has been playing like crap as of late, you know. Um and it's not our major players because Parsons and the defensive line are doing their best to create pressure, but again, sometimes it's max protection, whatever the case may be. But this secondary, um, ever since ever since Jordan Lewis went down and then Anthony Brown, I knew it was going to be a cause of concern. We have Calvin Joseph that's worried about his rap career more than his playing career. This guy, I don't know. And to me, watching the film, he kind of looks better when he plays press man instead of off coverage. And I feel like he's just trying to do too much at times. Know the scenario. You got caught on a double move when we're up by 17. Just keep everything in front of you. I mean, I'm not no football whiz, and I'm pretty sure you can, go and visit other people's YouTube pages or whatever the case may be on how, to defend certain aspects. But me knowing that if I have a 17-point lead, I am not giving up any big plays. Damn sure not giving up anything, a double move for a touchdown. And that's what Kelvin Joseph gave up, and I think he got benched at towards the end of that the fourth quarter, just because of his play. Deron Bland, this rookie has what is it, 4 interceptions for a rookie. He looks like he's just a ball hawk. He's always around the ball, tackling everything. I think that's your number two. I really do think that's your number two corner. And then you just have to, the people that you just picked up recently, you're gonna have to throw them into the fire because right now it ain't Kelvin Joseph. This secondary that we wanted to, we were praising at the beginning of the season because they were playing really good, has been giving up a lot of points as of late, and teams that we should beat. Um, it's frustrating because at the beginning of the year we're talking about the offense being slow and the defense picking up for the offensive slack. Now it's the reverse. I don't know how do you lose a game that you're up by 17 and you score 30 plus points and still end up losing the game. That has to rely on the defense. Yes, I will say there's some concern on the offense and again, this Dak's interceptions are really killing me. The first one I would give up to Dak. That I mean, rolling out, throwing over your receiver's head. You created momentum for them. I mean, I believe they wanted to score, and it's only a 10 possession. I think it was a 10-point game at the time. It's something that we didn't need. We needed to take care of the ball, and that's my take on that. But the second interception, I'm not going to blame Dak. That second interception is all on Noah Brown. And it sucks because Noah Brown was having a good game. Mind you, I'm just watching highlights and because my daughter's recital this past Sunday, so had to take care of priorities and my daughter's first, and if you wonder how that recital went, you can check my personal page. She killed it. But going back to the offense and that interception, yeah, Noah Brown, I mean, that bounced right off your chest and then the people wonder, like, a lot of people in Dallas Cowboys, in the comment section on Instagram and all over the place, Bleacher Report, so on and so forth, are saying, "Hey, we're winning without a top wide receiver." This is why you need a top wide receiver. This is why you need Odell Beckham or T.Y. Hilton, which I don't believe T.Y. Hilton even played. I didn't see him in the stat line. Again, I didn't watch the game, but I'm just going off of what I saw in the highlights and the stat line. But it is, this is why, when the game comes down to the wire, when you have veterans like T.Y. Hilton or OBJ, this is why you need them because they're not scared of the moment. They live up to those moments. And hopefully Ty does play a larger role this upcoming week because it's the Eagles week and we're playing this Saturday versus the Eagles, so it's a big game. Um, but it's cause for concern. Like I felt like the offense was you know came out hot and then kind of like went in a little cold spurt and then you try to ramp it up again and maybe that's offensive play calling, but Kellen Moore, again, that last play that led up to the interception, you had three receivers in the exact same area. It ain't hard to defend that. And so Kellen Moore, I don't know if it was miscommunication on the play or whatever the case may be, but things need to get better, man. And it's what's frustrating because it always comes down this time of the year. We start off good, and as you see, my banner just fell. It comes off. We start off good, and all of a sudden it starts going bad towards the later half of the season, and it's frustrating, man. Like I said at the beginning of the program, I just want to be like my Argentinian people and celebrate a world championship. Hopefully, hopefully that would happen. But we got a hill to climb right now at Cowboys Nation. And again, the defense is not living up to the hype, and we hype these guys up a lot. And I still do think that this is a good defense, but the corner situation. Look, they ain't throwing to dig side. We know they ain't throwing to dig side. It's just the other side we have to worry about. So that's something that it's again, it's cause of concern. So we'll see. And shout out to the people that are watching. Again, you're watching, you can chat at any time. I can see the chat. I can respond to the chat. So feel free to chat whenever you want to. But let's go on to the Miami Dolphins. All right. So look, this Miami Dolphin, and I'm gonna fix my notes here because I had a lot to say, and I don't think I went all in on the Cowboys like I wanted to, but I'm gonna keep it short because we like to keep it short, not long lasting on these podcasts. But let's talk about these Dolphins now. Dolphins won in an lost in a nail biter. Bills won in a last second field goal, and this thing with the Dolphins. Look, first of all, they surprised the hell out of me. I didn't think that the Dolphins can play this good, this well in the snow. I didn't think, I had my doubts, and like everybody else did. And there was a lot of snow. But first, before I, go into the game, I want to talk about you Buffalo Bills fans. You guys are pieces of shit. And I'll say that loud and proud. Because how are you going to pelt grown men with snowballs? And you guys, and they want to talk about this is the greatest fan base and so on and so forth. Man, look, and I was praising them because they do travel well. But now you guys put yourself in probably the category of the nastiest and probably the most hateful fan base. You're right next to Philadelphia Eagles because I don't think anybody can stand it if you're an Eagles fan. If you're any other fans, so I can't stand any Eagles fans. I'm pretty sure a lot of my NFC East friends that are not Eagle fans can't stand the Eagles. But that's some piece that's really some shady shit. And my thing was, where was security and where was the police officers before this whole stoppage of the game? I mean, if you go to Dolphin Stadium, and I'll call it Dolphin Stadium because I don't even know what the stadium is called right now. It's called 20 different stuff, in the past 20 years. But I'm gonna call it Dolphin Stadium. But when you go to Dolphin Stadium, their security, their police personnel, they're on point. So if they see anything like that, they'll stop. They'll make some arrest, and you want to see that in the game. And you go to a Dolphins game, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see a fight, but you don't see that in the news coverage. But what you did see was a bunch of fans in this Buffalo game pelting the Miami Dolphins sideline, pelting the players, hitting cameramen, referees, and so on and so forth. That's some nasty shit, bro. I mean, I did. That's why I wanted the Dolphins to win so bad, and they came up short. And I yes, McDaniel's is a rookie head coach. Play calling, he still got to learn. My thing was that he was doing the running game was happening so good. It was what I mean, I don't think the Buffalo Bills had an answer for the Dolphins running game because they didn't expect it. And they were running so well with Moser and the other running backs out there. And when they got to the goal line, they wanted to get cute. Now it just reminds me of Kellen Moore at the Dallas Cowboys, him play calling over there, getting cute. And while we know that what the Cowboys are made of is the running game. So going back to the Bills game, Dolphins were running and they got to the goal line and they wanted to get cute. And yes, I get it. I get it. Sherfield should have had that quick slant for a touchdown. But why put it in your receiver's hands and your quarterback's hands when your running game was working very, very well for you? I just don't get it. And you got to look into the elements. Ball's going to be slippery. Ball can be tipped and intercepted at the goal line, and then there you go. I mean, this offensive line was pushing the defensive line, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I think the defense played well at times, but they couldn't. At the end of the game, they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop Josh Allen, and it just led the team all the way down for the game-winning field goal. But yeah, it's it's uh it's go time for the Dolphins now because you got 3 games left, and those games are versus the Packers, Patriots, and Jets. Now we hyped up this Dolphin team the whole year, and for good hyping up, good for good reason because they have been playing well. But now they need to start winning games to at least get into the playoffs, get a good wild card seeding, so on and so forth. Because if they don't, they might miss a wild card. And I do have faith in this, in this Dolphins team because they do have an explosive offense when they're clicking on all cylinders. But again, there's a teaching moment in every game. And I think this teaching moment in this past game was the calling of during the goal line and the running game. Um I do think the Dolphins can pull off these 3 wins. You're gonna face a Packers team that beat the Rams, but they didn't look impressive enough. And I do think that the Dolphins can run away with this. Again, the Packers are playing. It's not. They're not the Packers of old. Um, so do think they could beat the Packers. Patriots. We're gonna show you how the Patriots lost in our knucklehead play of the week. But the Patriots are just the Patriots. They can't get anything done. They're they just suck. I just plain and simple. They just suck. They're back to the old Patriots that really sucked pre Tom Brady. So and again I told you this for all you Patriots fans. Once Tom Brady left, you should have enjoyed those years because it ain't happening again. You guys are Mac Jones and Zappy and whoever, bruh. It ain't that team anymore. It ain't that team anymore. And then I do feel like they can beat the Jets. The Jets just suck. They suck offensively. Their one bright hope was their quarterback that has ribs of glass, and he has broken ribs and tries to get 10 different opinions to try to play in a game. Um, so they're now back to Zach Wilson, I believe, which guy went for like 18 for like 30 something yards. 18 for 35. Played the Detroit Lions, which I knew they were going to lose. Detroit Lions are, hey, I'm telling you, this Detroit Lions team is something to watch out for in the future. If they get in the tourney, and into the playoffs, they will be a scary team because this Detroit Lions team, I feel like they can, they're good offensive wise, defensive wise, they're kind of turning it around in the right direction. Maybe it's at the personnel they played, but again, they beat the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, yes, they believe. I'm trying to remember. They beat the Minnesota Vikings. They're no slouch, man. They're no slouch. I think this team, the Lions, if they get in, they can whoever they whoever they end up playing can give them a run for. But going back to the Dolphins, I do think, again, they need to address those concerns on, of play calling down at the goal line. They should have won this game. I believe they should have won this game. Um, but we will talk about that's all that we have to talk about these past games. But we always end it with our knucklehead play of the week, and our knucklehead play of the week comes to via brought to you by Las Vegas Raiders and Patriots game. I'll let you guys see this if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure you have.
Mac Hollins out on defense. He's all the way back. Stevenson
right here
is inside the 30, flips it back.
And this guy,
Stanford band nowhere in sight. It's picked off. Oh no!
And Matt Jones, you can make that tackle.
Wow! Incredible! Chandler Jones takes.
Oh my God! I have never in my life seen a game end that way. And I don't know what Jacoby Myers was thinking of throwing the ball back. It was a tie game. It's not like you guys were losing. It was a tie game. And I could see that if you guys were losing by like 4 and you needed a touchdown no matter what, I could see that. But for that to happen when you're tied, like again, I could see if you guys were losing, but a tie game, I just don't get it. That I mean, I won't be surprised if that's on Shaqtin' a Fool and they go, in the NBA Shaqtin' a Fool when he does a little segment. I wouldn't be surprised if that shows up because that's the biggest bonehead play I've ever seen in my life. Um, but I do want to thank you guys. That's it for today's podcast. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in for the Big Meat to the Big Meat Sports Podcast. Please don't forget to like the page, subscribe to the page so you guys can get notifications. And don't forget to check us out on all major platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok. We're all over the place. So thank you guys for tuning in, and